Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots, bootlickers, shills, debt slayers, peasants, vassals, minions, meat sacks, journalists. I'm Useful Idiot. Welcome. And really interesting today, a report came out that the president of CNN told all his top so-called journalists, and 100 of them total, probably more than that, basically told them to show some restraint and don't editorialize, don't express outrage over the Trump inauguration, and don't use inflammatory language, and don't dwell on events of the past. And then this reinforces my belief that there's going to be there has to be a transformational change in liberal media, and this whole thing about attacking Trump with every breath, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and inflaming their audience. Really worked as far as getting their ratings up and continuing this absurd narrative they created about Trump. And it was really good for ratings. But this time it's different. Not only did Trump get a clear mandate, but there's a sense in the air that everybody wants to be a little more constructive this time. And so to see CNN, of all the networks, so viciously attacking Trump for so many years, well over 8 or 9 years now, that's run its course. And as I mentioned, I predicted that if liberal media keeps up with the kind of rhetoric that they've been using, they very well could just completely collapse, even more so than they already have. Most of these networks have lost well over 50% of their viewership. And there's part of me that felt like they're just going to go back to their old tricks. And a lot of liberal media has gotten back to their old tricks, the usual insane wombats like Rachel Maddow and The View. But just as in general, across the globe and in the United States, there seems to be a more conciliatory, constructive approach in the air. And I think people are getting tired of this. And so that's good to see. I don't know if it'll last. I don't know if the liberal media is going to go back to their old games and it's going to work, because it certainly looks like the liberal politicians, for example, are back at their old games. And one recent example is Musk using his arms to show love to his audience, and putting his hand on his heart and then putting his hand up. And they, like always, they take it out of context and want to suggest that he was giving a Nazi salute. So ridiculous, just ridiculous. But here we go again. And like I say, I generally believe that there's a change in the air, and that media has to change and will change. And this is a good example of that. But I don't want to discount the fact that liberal media is going to go back to its usual format of swill and garbage and lies and misinformation. And they certainly are being pressed on by the reactions of the liberal politicians at this point. They're already out there talking about resisting Trump at every step over the next 4 years. And of course, they're focusing in on things that are easy to attack and things they don't like pardoning the January 6 people. And they need to focus in on some of the things that, at least at the surface now, seem to be very positive. And some of the things Trump's done are kind of silly, like changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. But I think a lot of the things he's doing are very constructive, and could be a real win for all Americans. For example, ending censorship. But we'll see how this plays out. I know I am completely unbiased, and I'm not prone to hyperbole, and I will continue to be a media outlet that gives you the real deal. So there you have it. I'm a Useful Idiot. Don't you be one too.